Yo, what's poppin', y'all? It's Tone Vlogs and I'm back. I'm gonna share you guys my experience with depression. So yeah, I really was kind of like thinking like, damn, like do I really want to, talk about something that personal? I think I'm gonna talk about it today, as you can read by the title, my experience with depression. This was something that, I haven't practiced on explaining, and so I want you guys who are listening to this, just keep an open mind, because everybody's experience with depression is different. I didn't have the same experience as somebody else did, but I knew it was depression because of how I felt. If you are watching this video and you are experiencing depression, one thing I want to tell you is to embrace the pain. So when you feel this pain, don't suppress it at all. Don't try to, use drugs, alcohol, smoke weed to suppress your feelings. Some days, it might help you. Don't get me wrong, I'm not telling you to not do these things, but be really careful when you use and overuse such things as drugs and alcohol, because you don't want to suppress your depression, because it's happening to you for a reason. And that's one of the things I had to learn. I'm not really a heavy drinker or a heavy smoker, so it wasn't really a problem for me to suppress my emotions. I suppressed my emotions using different things, such as spending money, and doing things to make me feel better than people. Instead of making myself feel good throughout my depression, I thought, oh, let me do this so I can be better than everybody else. And that's one thing, is getting caught up in your ego during depression. When you go through depression, you have to embrace what you're going through. Don't think, oh, am I doing the right thing to help myself with depression? Every move you make, is for a greater reason. So what I'm going to tell you is, when you're going through depression, you're going to have to go through certain life situations that's going to help you grow. And that's one thing I want to let you guys know, is that depression is in your life to help you become a better person. And before I start my story, that's kind of what I wanted to explain to you about how depression led me here making videos. As you can see, I'm in nature. This is the best spot to come when you're going through depression. So, all right, this is crazy for me to do. I didn't think I was gonna open up to y'all like this, but I feel like a lot of people who are going through depression are gonna need to hear someone and relate to their story. Like, seriously, this is the reason why I'm doing this, is to help other people. Other than that, I'm not doing this for any other reason to, oh, look at me, I went through depression. Like, no, I'm doing this so I want to be a voice for people that went through depression, because I went through it and it was very, very difficult. So where we start, my first day was on my birthday. I turned 20 years old. The day I turned 20, right? When you turn a certain age in your life, I feel like you have to grow up and you have to understand that, hey, look, I'm in my 20s now. I can't be doing the same things I always used to do, because you're not gonna grow. So one thing I realized when I turned 20 is, I was like, holy shit. Like I looked in the mirror and I was like, dude, like, you're 20 years old now, like, things are gonna get serious. Like, you're gonna have to grow up. And so I started questioning a lot of things in my life when I was going through my first time being 20. I started questioning everything. I was like, what is life? What is my purpose? Why am I even here? And it just ended up me falling into this really dark place. Like, who am I? I grew up wanting to be a professional baseball player, right? And one of the things I had to let go in my life was baseball. So at 20 years old, I was plotting on quitting baseball, and I ended up not quitting. There's many urges in me that wanted me to quit, but it's hard for me to give up on something like that. I lost interest in it, and that was probably the hardest thing I had to go through, was losing interest in something I love. And I knew deep down it wasn't my purpose. So I was doing things that wasn't fulfilling me at that point in my life. And it made me really depressed, because I felt like that is not me. Me playing baseball, like, I love the game, don't get me wrong, like, I love baseball, but it wasn't something that I felt like I really wanted to do. My whole life I wanted to do it, but when I turned 20, I reevaluated myself. I said, I don't know if I really want to do this. And that led to me being in a really dark place, because I was like, holy crap, like, this is not something I want to do. And it made me really depressed, thinking that, like, holy crap, like, how am I going to tell my parents? How am I going to quit? You know, what is going on with me? Why am I, you know? And I started questioning everything in my life, from God all the way to, you know, myself. Why am I even here? So going through 20, with depression, I had to figure out who I was as a person. You know, what did I wanted to do? That included trying new things, talking to different people, hearing different people's stories, having an open mind to people. And I had to really humble myself. There's a lot of things that humbled me through depression. It's like, when you go through depression, it's like rebuilding you into this whole new person, right? That's only if you get through certain phases of depression, you know? And there's levels to depression, dude, like there really is. Just when you think, you know, it can get worse, you know, it can get really bad. Like, I felt really depressed to the point where I stopped hanging out with my friends. I didn't want to be around people no more. Didn't want to talk to anybody. I just wanted to be in my room by myself. So, me being in my room by myself led to me, you know, spending more time with myself, figuring out, you know, what do I want to do? Through the time of me being by myself, it led to me thinking back about every situation in my life. Like, you just start thinking, like, when you're going through depression, it can lead to you start thinking so much to the point where you're like, holy crap, like you feel a loss of energy every day. You wake up and you're just tired for no reason. I found myself tired for no reason, and thinking a lot about what I wanted to do in my life. Figuring out who I was as a person was the hardest thing ever. Like, seriously, like, figuring out who I was. I did not know who I was as a person. And that is the hardest, like I said, that is the hardest thing I had to go through, was figuring out who I was as a person. Dude, I'm gonna be real with you. I had days that I was crying. I had days I was upset. I had days I didn't want to be alive anymore. Like for real, this is real shit. But one thing I knew, I was never gonna give up. I have experienced a lot of bullshit in my life for me to give up, like, for real. You know, I always knew deep down I had a purpose in my life, to be something great. And depression was probably a huge test for me, to see, like, okay, God was like, okay, you want to be something great? Well, I'm going to put you something so rough, so, you know, difficult, that you're really going to have to go through this for a long time and figure out who you are as a person. That is not easy at all. Finding out who you are is hard. I'm telling you, depression is going to make you a better person, I promise you. But you just need to fight through that. You know, you need to, you know, I'm not going to tell you what you need to do, but one thing I want to say is never give up. Just don't give up. If you're watching this and you are depressed, never give up. For real, just don't quit. You know, there's brighter days, I promise you. And you want to know how long my depression lasted? And please, if I'm going to tell you how long, please don't compare yourself. You know, don't be like, oh, well, I'm still going through depression through 3 years, blah, blah, blah. Like, okay, I totally get that. You know, not everybody's depression is going to end at the same time. My depression lasted for 1 year and 3 months. And it was probably the hardest thing I've ever had to experience. Every day, just felt like I was just going through hell every day. Felt like I was just being thrown in a hole every day. And it was so hard. You know, it wasn't easy. Me looking back on it, like, it was probably the hardest thing of my life, was to experience that. And, you know, I didn't tell anybody I experienced it, because it was not something I wanted to talk about. It wasn't something I wanted to have conversations about. I didn't feel comfortable letting people know my personal life. But here I am today, explaining to y'all my story. You know, that's not even the whole story. It's just, there's a lot of personal things I don't want to talk about, you know, nothing major, but, you know, this is kind of like what I experienced. Was just, every day was hell. Every day I had to look in the mirror, put on shoes, put on clothes, put a smile on my face, not let anybody know how I was feeling. it was difficult. It was really hard, you know, and it really made me really rethink my life. Made me rethink, why am I even here? You know, why do I even want to be here in the first place? Like, why do I want to be here in this life, you know? Before God sent me down, you know, I feel like me going through depression was definitely predestined. It was destined for me to go through it because, dude, I don't think I would be here making YouTube videos explaining, you know, certain things within my life to help other people if it wasn't for depression. Overall, you know, point I want to get across in this video is that in life, we're gonna go through bullshit. Everybody goes through bullshit, right? Everybody goes through depression. There's people that, you know, live with depression their whole life. Some people don't ever beat it. They just suppress it. Drink, smoke, party on the weekends all the time. It's so easy to do that. To escape your reality of all your emotions and to just numb yourself. To make people laugh, you know? To just make other people feel happy. That's what I did during depression. Make other people feel happy because it was so good seeing other people happy because I was so used to seeing myself sad. And that's why when I come around certain people, I love to make them laugh because I want to see other people happy, you know? And I would, you know, put other people before myself. And one thing I learned through depression was, you know, sometimes you got to be selfish with your own energy. You can't hang around the same people all the time. You can't hang around people that aren't good for you because you're not going to feel good. You seriously just can't give up. There's no room to just quit, you know? And this was probably the hardest thing I've ever, you know, gone through in my life, and making this video about it is probably gonna be hard to open up to people about it. But yeah, like, you know, I want to be a voice for people that go through depression because I feel like I'm not the only one out there experiencing this. And I know if you're watching this, if you have depression, just stay strong, for real. That shit is hard, dude. You know, not everybody is gonna understand your journey in life. So you just gotta keep the vision to yourself. What you wanna do in this life, keep it to yourself. A lot of people around you are not gonna believe in you. So you really gotta focus on you. And throughout depression, I had to realize that.